Last year I went down to Mizuno to get fitted for my new irons. I think I might have made a mistake. Let's do it, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. Guys, first things first, I'd like to warmly welcome you all back to the channel. I hope you're all safe, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all enjoying getting back out on the golf course if you are allowed to. I'm loving getting back on the golf course, even though the weather's taken a bit of a turn, but that was always going to happen, wasn't it? Guys, in today's video, I've got a bit of a confession to make. The irons that I got fitted for last year and that I've been using, I think they might be wrong. Not all of them, but some of them. Let me explain. You see, by wrong, I don't really mean wrong. Well, I do mean wrong, because the 4 and 5 iron, I went in the HMB MP20. The rest of them, I went in the Mizuno MP20 MB, and I'm loving them. The HMB for me with the 4 and 5 iron, just where I play, it does get a little bit windy, and I definitely think that if I stand there and I hit the 4 or 5 iron into the wind, it just, for me, and it just feels that way, So, I know what you're all thinking. What's in the box? You see, in the box is my exact specs of irons and a receipt, I think. But in the Mizuno MP20 MB. And I honestly think, oh, don't need that anymore. And I honestly think that I may have made a little bit of a mistake in the HMB 4 and 5 iron. I thought I could take that off while I was talking and it'd look really cool, but we'll have to just dedicate some proper time to get in. There we go, there's one. And there's two. So in this video, we are going to compare the 4 and 5 irons in these Mizuno MP20 HMB and MB irons. Both the same specs, both the same shafts, both the same grips, apart from the green was limited edition on the tour van, so we've got the red Align, which I don't particularly mind. I might swap them over eventually. And to be honest, a lot of it just comes from, I've been stood on some par 3 tees at about kind of 180, 190, 200. And I've even tried to hit a 6 iron just because looking down at it, the MP20 HMB just looked a little bit big, and it kind of put me off a little bit. I don't know if that's kind of behaviour that, just kind of behaviour that I've learned. I mean, look at that. That's a 5 iron pitching at 195, pretty much spinning at 4.4, and it's not moved in the air. Am I wasting my, no, can't be. Remember, I'm kind of talking about into a wind as well, generally, but let's see what the difference is, because what I'm not saying is that I'm too good for the HMB and that I should be playing MB blades, although they do look absolutely stunning when they're new, don't they? It's purely down to performance and aesthetics, looking down at the ball and feeling comfortable. Although they're the best 2 5 irons I've ever hit in my life, so this is going to be very interesting. I'm very interested to see just how much difference off-centre hits make as well with these clubs, because obviously we all know that off-centre hits with blades, you don't get to, that's on the line. Check this out. Check that out for a shot. We all know that you don't get too much forgiveness from blades. At least that one's gone a little bit right. We're going to hit 5 shots with each club, so I'm trying not to waste your time too much. And I will give you a little bit of differences in feel as well. Has anybody else ever got the wrong golf clubs and then changed them and thought, actually? Left. Right, so they're 5 absolutely disgusting shots with the Mizuno MP20 HMB. And I'm going to apologise now if I've wasted my time, Mizuno's time and your time, but I'm going to go straight into the MB5 iron here and just see exactly what the differences are. You see, a lot of my reasoning as well comes down to trying to manufacture shots, not just in the wind, but under trees and around obstacles and things. And a lot of times I do hit it in the trees, I know. And I just feel like I can maybe play with the 5 iron more kind of it makes sense to me anyway, it makes sense to me. Let's go full shots to start. That is exactly what I wanted. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Struck it well, same distance, good spin. I was at the verge of making myself look silly here. I know only one shot in, but amazing how much better this 5-iron looks down at the ball. Heavy. Literally, I only just realised that I've still got cardboard here, which we don't want in the shot, do we? I'm just that excited for new golf clubs, to be fair, I think. These feel so good, so good. And to be fair, I do find it amazing how looking down at a golf club can either fill you with confidence, it can fill you with dread, it can put even that little seed of doubt in your mind, which is a huge factor when you're playing golf. I mean, they're not that different. They are that different looking down at them. I think I've made the right decision. I honestly do. One more with the 5. Like it a lot. Right, oh, it's even going in the bag. See that? Just without even thinking. Let's go 4 irons. Let's go 4 irons and let's start with the HMB. And I mean, looking down, you know what? They're not bad clubs to look down at. I'm not for one instance saying they're bad to look down at, but looking down at this as opposed to this is a big difference. A huge difference. And for anyone wondering how I did get exactly the same specs, I just rewatched the video of the fitting. If you do want to watch that video of the fitting, then you can. I will link it below. I also had a video of having them made as well, which was quite good. Matt was great in that. Right, 4 iron, HMB. Let's go. Again, it's great, it's good. I feel like I'm just nitpicking here because I'm striking these so well, but it almost needs to be a test out on the golf course, this. Guys, in fact, hit those comments below if you'd like to see me do this test out on a golf course, hopefully on a bit of a breezy day, maybe uphill into a wind, and also maybe picking out different yardage shots. So for me, 4 and 5 iron, I'm not just hitting the 190, the 200 shots, I'm also maybe picking out some 170 shots into the wind, some 160 shots into the wind, some shots where I'm kind of fighting a wind as well. And that's where, for me, the blade helps me potentially do that. Even just kind of looking down at it and seeing not a longer blade length or a thicker top line. I'm swinging good today, to be fair. Swinging very good. Ah. See, that's the one where I do wonder if I would get away with that with the MB, with the blade. That's still gone 200 yards, and it was like out of there. Like not even a groove. Right, 2 more shots with the HMB, then we're going to go MB 4 iron. This is where it could really make me look silly. But I honestly don't think it will. I think it's a good decision, this. Oh, that is nutted though, isn't it? I'm definitely not going to get rid of these. I think you could almost kind of pick what courses you play. If I go and play a really dry course, I know it's going to be windy, I know I'm going to be playing shots that kind of want to run in a little bit more, then I might well choose the blades. If I'm going to be playing a really wet course, a really kind of just pick your spot and land it on it course, then I might well go back to the HMBs. I may even start playing dreadful and go back to them anyway. Last shot, HMB. Rubbish. Rubbish. Right, interesting array of shots there with the Mizuno HMB 4 iron. Hopefully we can put some similar swings on this. And this is the MB 4 iron, and by similar swings, I don't mean good swings, I mean a few good ones, a few bad ones. So initial thoughts looking down, how do I feel? Truth be told, I feel okay. Definitely looks like inviting with the loft, to be fair. Get that ball lined up properly. So we're looking for kind of 205 to 210, I think, really, with this. .205 to 210, landing 206, finishing 209, 4,000 spin. Yes, please. So it works if we hit it right, which is nice to know. Very nice to know. That's even better. I like it. I like it a lot. And I even feel like I could, I mean, I'm not going to because it's going to skew the numbers up. I might hit a few at the end. I could play some almost stingers. I could play some low fades out of the trees, which I have to do often, and hook it round trees. And I go in the trees a lot, I do. And I just think as well that I shouldn't be stood on a tee and not hitting a club because I don't fancy it. You should fancy all the clubs in your bag as much as one another. And that's hopefully what's now going to happen. That one was a little bit healer. We've still got 205, so that's okay. Didn't worry me too much. So last swing of the test, and what have we learned? To be honest, we've learned that I feel like I'm striking long irons pretty well today. Definitely don't feel like this has been a mistake. I think the numbers will be fairly similar, I think, which is good. I didn't really want the numbers to change in a dry ball scenario where you're in a studio, there's no wind, there's nothing that needs to change. What needs to change is when I look down at the golf club and my mindset isn't there on a par 3, or just when it's windy, or again in the trees. Stop saying the trees, there's no trees in here, apart from like the ceilings. There used to be trees years ago. Right, 210 yard par 3, obviously 2 iron would be too much. We need to step on a 4 iron. Can we get there? I reckon I probably could with a HMB. Oh, it's dead on line. 206, 4 yard putt. What's that, like a 10-foot putt, I think? I think that's how it works. Anyway, guys, that's on the line as well. That is going in the bag. But also, that's 20 golf shots hit, 5 with each, the HMB 4 iron, HMB 5 iron, MB 4 iron, MB 5 iron. What's the difference? And have I made a mistake? Another one. Let's take a look. Right, so we'll start as ever with dispersion. Dispersion HMB 5 iron. I mean, it's a long iron, it's a mid iron, isn't it? But not too bad, not too bad at all. What about the HMB 4 iron? A little bit lower as you would expect for a 4 iron. I'm going to take that all day for a grouping of 4 irons. I know we only hit 5, but very, very happy with that. What about now the MB 5 iron? Love it. Again, nice. Can't see anything wrong with that. You're not going to really miss greens with that. Obviously, I felt like I've swung well today, as I've mentioned. And the 4 iron, again, lower. And again, maybe they turned over a little bit too much the first couple, but did felt like I've rectified that later on in the shots. What about the numbers? Numbers for the new clubs and the old clubs, or all the new clubs realistically. As you can see, not huge differences. We're going to look at the carry numbers. 204 with the MB, 202 with the HMB. So actually, you could say gain distance there. I don't think we realistically have. I think that's pretty similar. HMB 5 iron 195 and MB 5 iron 192, and respectively the carry out distances there, not too bad at all because they're decent. Approach angles. As we look at the speeds, all pretty similar. Not a lot in those at all. Obviously dependent on strike and things like that. Spin rate's very interesting. The 4 iron with the MB and the HMB spinning very, very similar. And the 4 iron with the MB, which is this top one here, this 4747, is spinning less than the MB, is spinning more than the MB at 4603. So interestingly there, not huge differences all round, and I'm very pleased with that. I'm very optimistic with that. I didn't want huge differences. I want differences down at address. I want differences to look at. I want a different feeling when I'm stood on a par 3 tee, when I'm stood on a windy fairway or something like that. I don't feel like I'm going to lose much with the strike-wise. For me, if I play bad, it's generally very bad, and it's like really fat or a shank or something like that. So no club is going to save me from that. I never just miss it and feel like a different club would help me more there. I'm really pleased with that. I'm definitely going to put the MBs in the bag and see how they go. Regards to the fitting, and people say I should be fitted better and they didn't do the job, I just said to them I don't fancy hitting bladed long irons. So they're never going to then say, oh no, go on, hit. They're never going to give you a bladed 4 iron and say, I believe in you. Especially not because that's a 5 iron, but they're never going to give you a bladed 4 iron and say, I believe in you, hit this 4 iron, because that's not what they're there for. They're not there to give me something that I don't want. Now I feel like the set's pretty much there as well. I've had this inkling for a while, and it's taken me a bit of time to kind of just accept that I was wrong. I think sometimes that's the best way to do it. It's the best thing to do. And the what's in the bag's nearly there. There's a tiny tweak I might have to make, but apart from that, we're nearly there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, why not hit that subscribe button below? Like I said at the beginning of this video, 365 days a week. That'd be difficult. 365 days a year content, all golf related, so that you can enjoy it. Leave us a like if you enjoyed that, because it means the world to me and it helps the video go to other golfers so they can enjoy it, hopefully. And apart from that, I'll very much look forward to seeing you tomorrow.